The twin sons of Khalid, four bled crimson across the sky as the planetary shield flickered for the 47th time that hour. Each flicker was a heartbeat skipping, a promise about to be broken. From the command blister of New Providence Colony, Governor Aisha Valente watched the energy dome stutter, like a dying hologram. Outside, the Voraxi battle swarm pressed closer, their obsidian carapaces glinting as they unfolded into attack formations. Eight-legged, six-eyed, and patient in the way only a hive mind can be patient. Shields at 9%, Lieutenant Commander Park said, voice flat the way people speak when hope has already left the room. The reactor's bleeding plasma faster than we can patch it. We have maybe 20 minutes before total collapse. Aisha didn't answer immediately. She was staring at the long-range sensors, at the single red icon that had appeared on the edge of the system 12 hours ago and simply drifted. No engine signature. No life signs. No transponder. Just a ship the size of a heavy cruiser, moving under momentum alone, tumbling end over end like a corpse in the void. UNSS Erebus. Registry confirmed. Lost with all hands in the Battle of Sirius Reach, 38 years ago. A ghost ship. Humanity's most famous one. Governor, Park tried again. We need to evacuate the lower levels. Get the children into the deep shelters. There won't be deep shelters if the shields fall, Aisha said. Her fingers drummed the console. The Voraxi don't take prisoners. You know that. Park knew. Everyone knew. The insectoid empire had been pushing into human space for 6 years, colony by colony, world by world. New Providence was supposed to be the line in the sand, the new shield generator tech, the reinforced fleet anchorage, the propaganda victory Earth needed after Procyon fell. Instead it had become the Alamo. Another flicker. The lights inside the blister dimmed, then surged back. 7%, Park whispered. Aisha turned from the viewport. Open a channel to the Erebus. Ma'am, you heard me. Park hesitated only a second, then obeyed. Static hissed across the speakers. The ancient cruiser kept tumbling, silent. UNSS Erebus, this is New Providence Control. Do you read? Repeat, do you read? Nothing. Aisha leaned closer to the microphone. This is Governor Aisha Valente. We are under attack by Voraxi forces. Shields critical. If anyone is aboard, please respond. The static shifted. A faint carrier wave, almost below hearing. Then a voice, thin and cracked, as though dragged across decades of vacuum. New Providence, is that really you? Every officer on the deck froze. The voice continued, distant, echoing. This is Captain Marcus Reynard, UNSS Erebus. We thought we were the last ones. Aisha found her own voice. Captain Reynard, your ship has been missing for 38 years. How? No time, the voice interrupted. Something that might have been a laugh or a sob. We jumped into a Voraxi trap at Sirius. Experimental drive. Folded space wrong. We've been outside. Between. Drifting. We saw your beacon. We're coming. Park was shaking his head. That's impossible. No life support. No power. Nothing could survive. The Erebus's running lights flared to life, cold white against the black. Its tumble slowed, corrected. Engines that should have been dead for 4 decades ignited in a blue-white wash that lit half the sky. And it was accelerating. Hard. Straight toward the Voraxi swarm. Aisha stared as the ancient cruiser burned its way across the battlespace, railgun turrets tracking, missile bays cycling open. The Voraxi reacted instantly, hundreds of interceptors peeling off to engage the new threat. Governor, Park said hoarsely, that ship is going to get shredded. Maybe, Aisha said. Or maybe the Voraxi are about to remember why humanity used to scare them. On the main screen, the Erebus opened fire. It should not have been possible. The cruiser's spinal railguns had been cutting edge in their day. Now they were museum pieces. But they fired anyway, tungsten slugs crossing the void at a quarter the speed of light. The first Voraxi destroyer simply ceased to exist, converted into an expanding sphere of plasma. Missiles followed, Old Mark, 47 sunburns, nuclear-pumped X-ray lasers that hadn't been manufactured in 30 years. They detonated in staggered waves, carving corridors of hard radiation through the swarm. The Voraxi responded with their usual ruthless efficiency. Plasma lances stabbed out, biotorpedoes leapt from launch tubes. But the Erebus moved like something possessed, jinking, sliding, dodging with a grace no AI pilot could match. It rolled through a cloud of interceptors, point-defense lasers flickering in perfect, impossible synchronization. Aisha realized she was holding her breath. Shields at 4%, Park reported. On the tactical display, the Erebus was deep inside the swarm now, a silver arrow surrounded by black hornets. Its hull was scorched, breached in a dozen places, atmosphere venting in frozen plumes. But it kept firing. Then the voice returned, calm now. Almost peaceful. New Providence, this is Erebus. Beginning run Alpha 7. Tell your people, tell them we're sorry we're late. Aisha's blood went cold. She remembered Alpha 7. Every officer did. The last resort protocol from the early war, the one no captain had ever used because it turned a cruiser into a relativistic battering ram. Captain Reynard negative, she shouted. Belay that order. You still have 38 years, Governor, Reynard said gently. We've had time to think. Time to decide what matters. You still have children down there? Aisha couldn't answer. Then let us do this one thing right. The Erebus's main drive flared white-hot, then brighter, impossibly bright. Its fusion core deliberately overdriven past every safety limit. The cruiser surged forward at 0.3 C, a lance of pure vengeance aimed at the heart of the Voraxi command ship. The impact lit the sky like a second sun. When the flash faded, half the Voraxi fleet was gone, vaporized, crippled, or fleeing in disordered retreat. The rest were disoriented, their hive mind screaming from the psychic backlash of losing so many nodes at once. New Providence's shields flickered once more and held. At 2%. Silence filled the command deck. Then the cheers began. But Aisha wasn't cheering. She was staring at the drifting wreckage of the Erebus, at the faint emergency beacon that still pulsed in the dark. Get a shuttle out there, she ordered. Now. They found only one survivor. He was waiting in the Erebus's auxiliary control room, seated in the captain's chair, uniform brittle with age and vacuum exposure. His name tape-read Reynard. M. His eyes were too large, too dark, as though they had seen things light was never meant to touch. He was 29 years old, the same age he'd been when the Erebus vanished. Time, he explained quietly, did not work the same in the place they'd been. A place between folds, where the laws of physics were more negotiable. They had watched human colonies fall, one by one, across 38 years that for them had lasted only months. They had watched Earth's fleets retreat, watched the Voraxi grow bold. They had waited for a signal. Any signal. A chance to come home. New Providence's distress beacon had been that chance. The others? Aisha asked. Marcus Reynard looked toward the shattered viewport, where debris from his ship drifted like snow. They stayed with the Erebus, he said. Someone had to keep the guns firing. He stood slowly, joints cracking like old wood. Your reactor's still bleeding, Governor. I can help patch it. I spent 38 years, or 3 months, depending on how you count, learning Voraxi plasma physics the hard way. Aisha studied the man who had just saved 38,000 lives with a ship full of ghosts. You're relieved of duty, Captain, she said softly. Effective 38 years ago. Welcome home. Marcus managed a tired smile. Ma'am, home just became wherever people still need saving. In the weeks that followed, the Voraxi never returned to Kaled 4. Word spread through their hive. A human ship had returned from the dead, crewed by the undying, and torn an armada apart with its bare hands. Humanity, for the first time in 6 years, began to push back. And on clear nights, when the twin suns set and the stars came out, the people of New Providence would look up and see a new constellation, a silver arrow piercing a swarm of black hornets. They called it the Erebus. And sometimes, late at night, the colonial comm net would pick up a faint signal on an obsolete frequency. Just 2 words, repeating every few minutes, like a promise kept across decades. Still here. Still here. Still here.